welcome back to my channel. If you're new to me, my name is Kaylee. So this is a little bit different than what I normally do in my workout, okay? So normally I take you through an entire flow or a strength workout, but today I'm going to be demonstrating some of the movements that I do in a lot of my classes. So for example, the squat, deadlift type of position, or a hinge position, stuff like that. Okay, so it's gonna be a little bit more lower body focused today, but not really a flow or anything like that. I'm really gonna be cueing you on how to get into those movements and properly move in them, okay? So that way when you go do my other workouts, you have the basics down and you can really flow through with proper form and knowing that this feels good, you're feeling this in the right spot, the right muscles are working, and all of that. Okay, so you don't have to do this workout before you do any of the other ones, but if you're new to me, if you're new to working out, this is a great place to start, okay? So, I'm gonna guide you through, you can do it with me, you can just watch fully and then try, and then you can try another workout after, and I will put some in the description. That will be great to try after this kind of beginner basics, just back to basics series for you, okay? So, all you need is your own body weight, a mat if you want one. We're gonna get started. I'm just gonna start. I'll tell you the movement and then I'll cue through. I'll explain a couple different points for you to kind of keep in mind as you go through the other workouts and perform these movements. All right, so let's get started. Our squat, our deadlift, hinge position, some lunges and all that good stuff, okay? So I'm just gonna face you and I just want you to take your hands, place them on your belly, right around here. Go ahead and take a nice big inhale. Inhale through the nose, let everything expand. And then exhale all the way out, pull everything in. Good, so as you inhale, you can feel your hands go out and expand with the belly, right? So inhale. As you exhale, pull everything in, knit the rib cage together. Good, so as you exhale, you want to think about pulling the belly in and up. Okay, so there's a clock right here, and you want to think about 12 and 6 coming together, 3 and 9 coming together. And really keeping the ribs in here and connecting them, knitting the rib cage together as you exhale. So let's do one more. Inhale, expand, exhale, all the way out, okay? So the breath is so important as we move through, especially as the workouts get more difficult and the movements get more difficult. The breath is really what's gonna carry us through and really help us to keep that form, okay? All right, so let's go for our squat first. So I want you just to take your feet parallel, hip distance apart. So we're not gonna break down every single movement into like 100 different forms for today, just the basics of each movement. Okay, so feet hip distance, hands can come to prayer, elbows can just go out to the side, relax the shoulders. Good, take a nice big inhale here, and then exhale all the way out. Good, now start to go for that squat movement. So you're gonna bend the knees, you bring it down. Now you can go as low as you want for today. So you can bring the thighs parallel to the floor, you can stay up a little bit higher, but the goal here is to keep the chest lifted. And as you come down here, I want you to press those feet into the floor. Okay, so a lot of times our toes will come off, and it's good to have weight in the heels, yes, but you want to have the whole foot down. So try to plant through the toes as well, okay? So I'm just holding here to demonstrate. You don't have to hold if you don't want to, but you will get a little workout in, okay? So when you're here, guys, I'm going to turn to the side. Now, again, doesn't matter how low you are for today, but you're pulling the belly in. Okay, so if you feel like you're starting to round, or you feel like you're starting to arch, it's probably because the core is not engaged, okay? So, I want you to focus on taking a nice inhale here, start to lower down, exhale all the way out, keep those feet on the floor, pull the belly in and away from the thighs, and then pause there for a moment. And when you're down there, I want you to feel the muscles that are working, okay? So aside from the core now, you have the quads on, okay? You have the hamstrings on, and you have the glutes on. And the way that you engage the back a little bit more is by really pressing into the feet and clenching the butt a little bit here, okay? So you can feel those muscles active if you touch them. You can also just hang out and then you're not really getting as much in that movement, okay? So here we go. We're gonna go down and up here, hands in prayer. Just let the breath flow, okay? It doesn't need to be this crazy inhale, exhale every time you lower and lift, okay? So just let the breath flow. The goal right now is just to breathe, okay? Pulling that belly in as you exhale. Here we go. Take a nice deep breath to start, full breath. And then start to go for your squat. We're gonna bring it down. And then lift and squeeze, okay? So down. Squeeze those butt cheeks at the bottom, press the feet into the floor. Belly in right there. Good. Okay, so do one more like that, and then I'm gonna break down a little bit more of that top part. Good. Okay, so when you come up, right, just as much as when you're down here, you wanna feel the glutes working, the legs working. You wanna feel those glutes a little more at the top, squeeze. Okay, so a lot of times I'll see people squat down and up. Okay, so you feel your legs a little bit, right? But I want you to feel the glutes a little more. So when you bring it down, you're here. You have a little tension, belly in. When you bring it up, squeeze, little thrust forward. I know it doesn't look pretty. I always say that in classes, right? Not the most beautiful thing when you're squeezing those butt cheeks in, but that's gonna help you work those muscles, okay? So here we go, let's try again. Nice deep breath, start to just squat down and up, press those feet into the floor, down, lift and squeeze, down, lift, squeeze. Good, chest stays lifted, shoulders down and back. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, squeeze. Down and lift. Let's go 4 more. 4 and up, good. 3 and lift, stabilize the knees, use those muscles. Good, now we're gonna hold it down. Hold it, we do little pulses a lot. So just a little pulse here, down and up. So when you're in a pulse, you wanna keep the legs, the glutes, the core active. Okay, keep it active. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stand up, okay? So we do squats a ton in our bar flows, our flow classes, as well as our strength classes. So now you have that form down a little bit more. You know you should be feeling it in all that lower body. It's not just isolating the quad, isolating the glute, isolating the core. It's everything together, okay? Good? Let's move on. We're gonna go for the hinge, okay? So we do this a lot in our pull workouts because we do deadlifts. And deadlifts are awesome, I love them, but you can get this movement down with just your own body weight, and with no weight at all, you will still feel the hamstrings and the glutes really working here, okay? So different than a squat, when we drop that booty down, now the hips and the booty are gonna go back, straight back, okay? So to start, you can put your hands right here, and what you wanna do is create a nice little sandwich as you hinge from the hips. So this is not a squat, it's a hinge motion, okay? So hands go here, shoulders down and back. Again, using the breath, pull the belly in, exhale, inhale, expand, okay? Exhale, pull the belly in. So just find that breath. Okay, now we're gonna start to move. Don't get so crazy with the breath for the moment, just keep breathing. Hands are here, you wanna create a little sandwich, okay? So you're gonna soften the knees just a smidge so they're not locked out. You're gonna send those hips back towards the back wall, pause. Okay, so now right now you should have a little sandwich. Your hand should be sandwiched by the top of your thigh and by that hip bone, okay? So right there, pull the belly in at the bottom point there. So when you're there, again, the back is not arching and the back is not rounding, okay? So you wanna try to maintain that neutral spine just right in the middle there where you can really pull the belly in and engage the core. So the feet are hip distance, the knees are soft, the hips are back, and the upper body is as parallel to the floor as you can get for today. Okay, so if you're a little bit higher, that is okay. The goal here again is to have the hips going back instead of dropping down and fully bending the knees. Okay, so this is really more of a Romanian deadlift if we're talking about deadlifts, but let's just call it a hinge, okay? So again, feet come hip distance. We're gonna go hip distance for right now. You can do a lot of variations of these, open the feet wider and all of that, okay? I'm gonna have you just bring those arms down. So you wanna keep them close to your legs, okay? Thumbs can be out. Start by pulling those shoulders down and back, and when you do that, pull the belly in. Good, now start to breathe here, nice big inhale, start to lower down, soften the knees a little bit, send those hips back, start to pull the belly in and up here. Good, maybe bring those fingertips to your shins, maybe just to your knees, and pause. Good. Now on the way back up, again, you're gonna give me a little glute squeeze, reset. Start to hinge, press the hips back. Good, all the way down, as low as you wanna go for today. Pause. Now everyone stop there. You can stand up and look at me if that's easier, depending where your camera is. Now the neck here is important, right? So as much as we're keeping that spine lengthening by pulling the belly in, I want you to think about the neck here just being an extension of the spine, okay, which it is. So instead of tucking chin to chest, right, because then you can't breathe, or looking up, because then you also can't really breathe that well, you want to think about keeping the neck in line with the spine, okay? And it's hard to be able to judge exactly where that is without a mirror, without someone kind of guiding you, but you will be able to tell by the breath. If you can't breathe as well, if you feel like your airways are closing, you're probably tucking or lifting too much, okay? And so what you want to think about, again, as you go down, belly in, knees soft, pause right there, and then your eyes are going to be slightly out in front, so not directly at your toes, out in front, but still down on the mat, okay? So not up if you have a mirror in front of you, but still down towards the mat, just in front of those feet, okay? So if you extended the arms on an angle, right about there is good, okay? All right, bring it back up and squeeze. Okay, so that is your hinge movement. Now the main thing here is you want to feel the lengthening through the back of the leg. So those hamstrings here, right here, as you go down, you feel length. You go down, length. Oh yes, I feel the length, I feel the length. When you pause at the bottom just for a moment, just like we did in the squat, I want you to turn those butt cheeks on. I want you to turn the legs on by pressing those feet into the floor. Pulling the belly in, and then as you come up, squeeze the glutes, belly in. And if you need to reset, remember, shoulders always come down and back, okay? So try not to let them start to round. We really want to keep a lengthened spine, okay? So that is your hinge. If you need help, you can even go against a wall. And in a squat, you drop the booty down along the wall, right? But in a hinge, your booty's gonna hit the wall. So you're gonna go boom and hit it, okay? As if you're shutting the car door with your butt. Yes? All right, so practice that movement. That's a really important one. Again, the core is so important there. So use the breath as you exhale, pull the belly in. So you can just go inhale, exhale down, pull the belly in, inhale, and exhale at the top. Okay, again, don't get crazy with the breath if you're new to it. Just keep breathing. The most important thing is to actually breathe and not hold your breath. But if you want some more guidance, then you can follow that, okay? So really pull the belly in as you exhale, knit the ribcage together. As you inhale, you expand. Yes? So we have a squat, we have a hinge. Now we're going to go for some lunge variations, okay? So we do a ton of lunges in our classes. And again, we're focusing more on the lower body, and I'll do a separate video for more upper body, okay? So we're going to start with our basic lunge, reverse lunge. And often we do these more than a forward lunge. I prefer doing reverse lunges, but they're just different movements, okay? Push versus pull. So let's just take a look here from the side. And again, breath is important, same thing we've been talking about. The position on this, you can start shoulders down. Hands can stay down to start. We don't have to worry about the hands so much. And then you're going to step back, one leg. And the other foot is going to stay right where it is, okay? So the goal when you step back into that lunge is to have that front knee in line with the ankle, okay? And there are different variations depending on if you're adding a little bit more of a hinge to your lunge. But for right now, for the purpose of just explaining a basic lunge, think knee in line with the ankle, okay? So you're gonna step back. You can bring the arms up to prayer. I like to do that when I lunge. You can keep them down by your side as well. And then you're gonna hold this position, okay? So right now, you see, I have a 90 degree bend with both knees. Okay, so just about 90 degrees is perfect. My chest is lifted, my shoulders are down. What happens a lot when we go really fast and we're not focusing on the form is we shift our weight forward and we start to put that pressure on our knee because the knee's falling over the toes, okay? So maybe the heel might lift a little bit, or you'll just see the knee really shifting over the toes. And again, the goal here is knee in line with that ankle. Okay, and you can even start in this down position if that's helpful for you. You can look in a mirror, you can say, okay, This one here, knee is in line with the hip. This one here, knee is in line with the ankle, curl the toes under, press yourself off, and there you are in your lunge, okay? And again, the lunge, depending on injuries, on how advanced you are, how often you do lunges, you can be low, 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 you can be a little bit higher, but the front knee should still stay in line with the ankle, okay? So you're gonna come back up through center. All right, so when you flow through a lunge, you're stepping back, and it's a little harder to tell when you're just kind of flowing one foot and then the other. But again, if you press that front foot down, you'll really be able to stabilize the knee. You turn the quad on. So again, you want to really tense that muscle so you're using it, and then you continue to flow. Okay, so the breath here, again, inhale, exhale, right? Same thing, belly's pulling in. The more you pull the belly in, the more stable you'll feel. Okay, so lots of knee stability, yes, but you need the core to keep everything stable and so that you stay facing forward. Okay, so I'll face forward and do this for you. So when you step back, you're here. But what can happen if your core is not engaged, you'll start to kind of turn. And sometimes we'll come in a position we will want to rotate, but for right now, you want to stay facing forward. Okay, so use that breath. Here we go. We're going to lunge back. Good. Belly in. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Just let it flow. Keep that foot all the way down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Now let's talk about coming up. Okay, so now you're in this position. Everything feels great. That foot is pressing into the floor. Your legs, your glutes, everything is turned on and engaged. Your core is engaged, of course. Now, how do you get back, right? You're back here. You're like, okay, great. I can't get up. Okay, so what you need to do is really use the muscles here to press back up to center. Okay, so you're going to use your glutes, you're going to use your quads, you're going to use your core. So to get back up, you need to engage the core. Okay, so a little bit of momentum, obviously, if you're going back and forth, but when you come back here, you step back, press that foot into the floor, really press it into the floor, turn the leg on, turn the belly on, press up. Okay, so you can take your time if you're new to this, guys. Just work on getting here, sinking low. You can just straighten the legs, down and up, get the lunge position, learn how to engage those muscles, really tense the muscle here. So when I say tense, it's not like you're tensing, like shoulders, everything comes up, but you're turning the muscle on by pressing the foot into the floor, by breathing, by pulling the belly in, by squeezing the glute, okay? And then you can just work on that second part, stepping back and alternating. Okay? So lunges are great options, but lots on the knees if you're not careful, so just watch that positioning. Make sure you're feeling it through the leg. These movements that we're doing right now, they're not really just one muscle group. They work a lot of muscle groups at once, so you want to focus on that as you go through them. Okay? Alright, so we're going to go through a couple more things, and I'm going to do multiple videos kind of explaining some of the movements I do often with you guys, okay? So the next one I do a ton is the lateral lunge. Okay, so lateral just means side to side, going to the side. So instead of going forward and back, we're gonna go sideways. So you can start with the feet together, okay? Belly pulling in. So let's take a breath here. Let's kind of reset. Drop the shoulders. Relax the arms. Inhale, expand. Exhale, pull everything in and up. Inhale, expand. And exhale. Good. So you find that breath again. Okay. Now you're going to step out one foot. The foot that you step out, and if you're new to this, just try to remember this to start. The foot that you're stepping out, that knee is going to bend. Okay? So whatever side you're going to, you're going to bend that knee. The other one, the goal is to keep it straight. Okay? So we're not doing a side squat when both knees are bent. We're doing a lunge. Okay? So here we go. So you're going to step out. And the way to start this, just kind of break it down, step out a little bit wider than hip distance, okay? And then take your hands, and just like you did in that deadlift, you hinge. Hips go back. Make a little sandwich. You can soften the knees a little bit here, but just for the purpose of the lateral lunge, keep the knees straight, okay? Because what we're going to do is keeping that leg that's not stepping out straight, okay? So bring it back in. You're going to step out. Take those hands. Create a little sandwich, hip hinge, Good. Bring it back up and bring it center. One more in that same direction. Step out, feet are parallel. So the goal on this one here, keep the toes facing forward, keep the knees facing forward, keep the hips facing forward, okay? Hips go back, boom. Squeeze the glutes, bring it up, breathe, step back to center, okay? So that same hinge position we use in the lateral lunge, okay? So now we're gonna step out, and now the foot I just stepped out, you're gonna bend that knee. Bend that knee as you hinge. Okay, so notice here, and my feet are not super wide, they can be even wider. Notice here how I'm in the hinge position. That leg that wasn't stepping out is straight. So you're gonna feel that lengthening through the inner thigh, through the groin. This side right here, that foot is pressing down, the knee is staying in line, and everything is facing forward, okay? So we're not turning the foot out. That could be a different movement, all right? But for this one, keep it parallel. Okay, so everything is facing forward except the hips are going back. Okay, so you're not sinking into a squat trying to get down because you have to bend both knees. Okay, so in order to do that movement, it's a hinge. Belly in, spine is lengthening, neck is long, pressing that foot into the floor. One knee is bent, glutes are on. We're squeezing that glute, quad is on. The opposite leg is also on and lengthening. Okay, and hands can be in prayer. You're gonna drive through that foot, okay? So the one that's down, the knee that's bent, that same foot. Press through the foot, especially that pinky toe, that heel, to come back up through center. Okay, so when you come up through center, just like in a regular lunge, the core is needed, okay? If the core is not working, it's gonna be really, really hard, even if you're pressing through the foot. Okay, so let's just do a couple that direction and then we'll just switch it to the other side, okay? So you're gonna step out, hinge, press off, and lift. Inhale. Exhale, belly in. Good, breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Good, last one, hold. Now, if you feel like your knee is kind of doing a little dance here, it's not feeling stable, I want you to engage those muscles more, okay? So all the muscles around the knee are supporting it, yes? So your quad, your hamstring, your glute even, yes? Your calf, press that foot to the floor, make it count. Don't lift the toes off, don't worry about that. We don't have to place the weight in the heel, so we're shifting like that, right? Shift the hip back, press the foot down, pull the belly in, drive through the foot, back to center, okay? All right, so let's try the other side. We're just gonna do it just so we're a little more balanced out here. So go ahead, take a breath, feet start together. We're gonna go for that hinge first. Step the feet out a little bit wider, sandwich. Hinge, hips go back, belly in, lift up, step center. And you can even practice that little push off right now. So step it out, hinge, bring it up, press off, boom, back to center. And notice you can probably see my core engage a little bit more when I come down to the hinge, when I press back to center, okay? So here, good, belly in, bring it up, belly in, come back to center, okay? Now let's add that bend. So you're here, and now you're gonna bend that leg you just stepped out. So the opposite one of what we were doing before. Press the foot into the floor, breathe, pull the belly in, neck is nice and long, and then drive through that foot to come back to center. You step out, you bring it in. And if I move quickly in a class with these guys, you can slow it down to really feel those muscles until you kind of get that feeling of tightening the muscles and really tensing them so they're engaged. It's going to be harder to keep everything stable when you're moving quickly. So slow it down. I always give the option of slowing things down. Right here, step out. Step in, good, belly in, breathe, inhale. Exhale, press. Inhale, exhale, press. Let's go 2 more. Good, don't forget about the core and the breath here. Inhale. Exhale, belly in. Good, next one, hold. So again, that same thing with the knee. Is your knee wobbling? That's a great way of telling if you're kind of engaging those muscles. So if it is, take a second, reset, start from the beginning. Okay, so again, when you're here, belly pulling in, quads on, glutes on, hamstrings on, foot's pressing into the floor, heel, big toe, pinky toe. To come back, pull the belly in, press off the foot. Okay, so very similar. Once you get the squat down, once you get the hinge down, and your lunges, you can flow a lot more easily through classes because those are basically the basic, movements of a lot of the other combinations that I do. Okay, so squat, hinge, another type of hinge in that lateral lunge, reverse lunge. The forward lunge is similar, you're just stepping forward, so you gotta really push off more. So my recommendation if you're just starting off, just stick with the reverse lunge for now. Again, they are a little bit different movements, but just a little bit safer to do that reverse lunge. But the forward lunge, I'll just walk through that one a little more quickly. You step the foot forward. And when you step the foot forward, again, you don't want to lean forward with it. You want to try to keep weight centered, step forward. Then you're going to press off that foot to come back to center, okay? So you step out, keep that front foot down, weight centered, press off to come back in. Oh, keep my balance there, okay? So forward, control it, belly in, press back, okay? And we'll go more into that in our workouts as well. I don't do forward lunges as much as I do reverse lunges, so wanted to walk you through that a little bit more, okay? We're gonna do a couple more things for today. I know there's a lot, not too many movements, but I know there's a lot to think about, and I want you guys to practice this and then maybe go try a little workout using what you learned right now, okay? So let's just take it down to the ground. I wanna bring you into a glute bridge, okay? So we do glute bridges a ton in class, and we're really focusing on the hamstrings and the glutes and the core. Okay, so kind of a couple different ways to do glute bridge. My bun is always in the way there. So I want you to take your hands down by your sides, really turn the arms on. So you're not just kind of letting them act like noodles. You want to keep them pressing down. Open the chest up here. So let the collarbone go broad. And then the feet are going to be hip distance to start here. So you can bring them in, inner thighs, you can turn them out. But just for today, we're going to keep them hip distance. And I want your heels to be pretty close to your glutes, okay? So you're not gonna have your feet out like this, so your legs are more extended. You wanna really have your knees up towards the ceiling, okay? And you can even feel, like you kind of reach that, oh, can I reach my heel? Okay, good. So closer to the glutes for the purpose of this exercise today. Arms down, good. Okay, now you're gonna press into the feet. Again, not just the heels, you're gonna press into the whole foot. So make sure the foot is planted and grounded into your mat, okay? And then you're gonna take a nice big breath here. So same thing we've been doing with the breath. Inhale, everything expands. Fill the lungs, good. Then exhale, pull everything in. And so important for this exercise, guys, to really find the breath, because when we lift up, we wanna keep the core engaged, okay? So inhale, everything expands. And then exhale, pull the belly button down towards the mat. Knit the rib cage together and in. Good. So now we're going to go to lift those hips up. We're going to use the breath. Take a nice big inhale. On your exhale, pull the belly in. Lift the hips up. Come into your glute bridge. Now your feet should still be completely pressing into the floor. And what I want to see for the purpose of this exercise right now, is not hips super high, ribs going out, abs not engaged, just craziness, okay? And if you want to open up the hips after a long day of sitting, you can definitely lift them up way high, right? But for our glute bridge, and most times in class when we're doing a glute bridge, we actually want to keep the core engaged, slight tuck of the tail as you lift the hips, okay? So you're going to lift the hips up, pull the belly in, and notice how my ribs are still knitting together, okay? Your feet are still pressing into the floor. And then normally what we do is we have those taps. So we tap our hips down and up. But before you do that, I want you to make sure the muscles are on here. Okay, so you should feel your hamstrings, the back of the legs. You should be squeezing the glutes in that lifted position. And of course, the belly should be pulling in. Now as you tap down, feel that release, that little break, right? And you're not completely just letting everything go loose, but it's releasing. The glutes aren't squeezing, the hamstrings are a little more relaxed. The belly, you're inhaling. And then you're gonna exhale and lift everything up and squeeze again. Inhale down, release. Good. Exhale, lift up and squeeze. Keep pressing the feet into the floor. Inhale. Exhale, pull everything in. Good. Inhale. And exhale, hold it up at the top. Good. So again, the feet are pressing into the floor. The muscles are on. You want to feel those hamstrings. Squeeze the butt cheeks together. Pull the belly in. Knit the ribcage together. Okay? And as you release, let it go. You can feel it's a little more loose here. And bring it all the way down. okay? So I'm gonna rock up to seated. So the goal here in that glute bridge, again, using the breath to really, really focus on when you want to engage those muscles a little bit more and when you want to let them kind of release a little bit more, okay? So that is all we're going to do for today, guys. We have our squat, we have our hinge, we have lunges, we have our glute bridge. We do a lot of those in flows and in our function classes, our strength classes. So practice, go through, test it out, see how your form feels, see how your breath is, and then I will put some workouts in the description that you can go try. If they're a little advanced for you, if you're just beginning, no worries, take it at your own pace. If you have injuries, listen to your body, okay? Again, my name is Kaylee, guys. If you're new to me, so happy you found me. I hope that basic explanation and description of those movements was helpful. If it was, let me know. You can leave me a comment. I will plan to do a few more of those, especially in upper body one, planks, and all of that. Otherwise, I will see you guys next time for our workout. Make sure to check me out on Instagram. It's Kaylee_Guiney. Hit that subscribe button, like this video, and I will see you guys next time. Have a good one.